Shit's a little dead right now.
Shit's a little dead right now.
What do you mean, Canada?
Canada's dead.
It's dead.
There's a reason why we got that freedom convoy.
Yeah. So are y'all supporting the racist, homophobic, misogynistic freedom
Hell yeah,
convoy?
I want to support the people that want to kill me, for sure. I'm just waiting for a truck to come by, so I'm like, hey, take me home, daddy.
Yeah.
I'm
That's a mischaracterization, dude.
If I get to do another comedy show, run me over, bro. I'm so sick of this shit. I got so mad. I sat by the road. Some bitch tried to give me cookies. I'm like, I thought the KKK was about to roll through. She had cookies. They were baking stuff.
Blankets.
Little gingerbread man. Bruv.
Come on
You
now.
want some poutine? They got that shit by the side of the road. It's crazy.
Oh, it's happened in Montreal too.
It's in Quebec City.
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
They've been converging
Quebec
from
City's
everywhere.
the capital, right?
It's happening in my
capital.
hometown of Ottawa. Shitty place, but it's the capital.
I didn't know
of
you're
Canada.
from Ottawa.
I was born there, but I grew up elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Got
to say
you.
that.
All right, so break it down for like us Americans and like there's other foreigners that are watching this podcast because we're just getting the American version of it, right? And obviously that's very skewed, right? Because the left is going to be like, oh yeah, these racist people have organized this protest, they're terrorizing the city, they're occupying it, and then the right is basically going, no, these are peaceful people and the community's coming together, and look, they cleaned down the statue of the one-leg guy that used to run in Canada, right? Like whatever the guy's name is, I don't know.
Terry Fox.
Yeah, Terry Fox,
Pirate
right?
Fox.
What is it?
Pirate Fox.
Pirate Fox.
Terry Fox.
This guy's wild. Yo. Okay. So what is it? What's going on? And like, where do Canadians stand on it?
When it started out as just to enter back in Canada, truckers would have to do 14 days of quarantining if they don't get vaccinated.
After they've left the
They
U.S.
went to the U.S. and they want to come back in Canada.
Right.
They would say, "Yo, you're gonna have to do 14 days of quarantine
Unless you get vaccinated.
and you got to get vaccinated." The thing is, 90% of the truckers are vaccinated.
They already are. Yeah,
They
yeah,
are.
yeah,
It's just that
yeah.
they said, even for that 10%, they just tilted. They went like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Nah, this, who gives a fuck? It's not even so much that all the truckers are not vaccinated. They are. Most of them are vaccinated. They
it's
are.
principle.
It's just like when you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And then they marched down and it started with that. And then they just added a whole bunch of things. Okay, now we have the mandates. So remove all the mandates. We know it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. Remove all those mandates and stuff like that. So now it's bigger. It's bigger than anti-vax people.
And you feel like Canada is supporting this? You feel like most Canadians are rocking with them and interesting.
I don't think that most.
I think people see the support online and assume that, but actually most Canadians. So Canada's very different from the States. Most Canadians support the mandates, the vaccine mandates, all that stuff.
Lockdown?
By polls, by all the numbers, even though the support has dwindled over time, it's still a majority. So they're supporting the lockdowns and all the measures. I know because I live in Quebec. And even though a lot of the young people in Montreal are not down with it, the rest of the province doesn't give a fuck.
Really?
They're fine with a lot of this stuff.
If you're not, basically, if you're not.
Even the restaurants, even
No,
the nightlife,
obviously the business owners are really hurt by it, so they can't stand it.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the people who matter, who are the voters to the politicians, right? Then the voters, they're with it.
And the voters, the voters are boomers.
Yeah.
Yo,
So-
that's interesting. The voters don't care about the restaurateur.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about. They don't care about clubs, comedy clubs. They don't care about restaurants. They don't care
None of
about
the
none of
service
that.
industry at
Because they
all.
don't do that. I actually saw, this was I was in an Uber, and there's a guy I had the radio on, and he was talking to this old guy who lives out in the boonies. And he was like, how do you feel about the fact that a lot of young people, they're depressed, some of them are feeling suicidal, they feel like their social lives, that they can't see their friends from high school, or they can't hang out with anybody. Like, they're really being hurt by all the restrictions. Don't you have any sympathy for them? And he's like, oh, fuck them. Fuck the clubs. Fuck everybody. Tell them to stay home. It's none of my business. There's zero consideration for the younger generation.
Wow.
And so that sentiment is very pervasive. They don't care. And everyone's kind of out there for their own self-interest in that regards.
We're getting none of that here.
No.
The only version of that, and maybe you guys are seeing different shit than me, but the only version of that I get is from Trudeau and from the politicians.
Yeah.
Where
Trudeau's hiding right now.
Yo, that was
Nowhere
some
to be-
pussy shit, right?
But that's him.
Why y'all vote for this guy, man?
Who's we?
Bring back Harper.
Canadians.
Oh, hey! Don't put everybody in the same pot.
You know what it is? It's not that
Enough of y'all.
he didn't win.
didn't
the
win.
field lost.
That's pussy even right there.
That's what it
How
is.
you got a loser in as president? Like,
They're good with the status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good with this, and he also timed his election really intelligently.
That's the most Canadian shit ever. You don't even have to win.
Wait a
That's just
minute.
funny,
Wait
bro.
a minute.
You elect the loser.
You elected the loser, bro.
Yeah,
But
the,
don't
the
you
white
guys
guy
do
got
that
a minority
too?
government.
Don't you motherfuckers do that too?
All right, fine. Technically, Trump did win because they stole from him, but
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Recount it.
That's pussy.
well, listen, we tried to make a change. Some of us went down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had our own little freedom convoy. All right? It wasn't as
They couldn't
successful as
afford
you
the trucks.
guys.
They just ran up on foot. Let us in, please. That was mad. But yeah, no, Canadians overwhelmingly support the mandates, but you're seeing a lot of people online who are behind it, people from other countries. So online, if you're consuming it that way, you get the vibe.
Yeah.
That
I would
you know
say
what was
overwhelming-
interesting? You know what was crazy?
What?
You know that their GoFundMe was
was
canceled. But you know who did it? They actually admitted it.
Who?
It was the mayor of Ottawa, like him and the government were
It was the
talking to
government,
GoFundMe, and they said, we want this shut down, and GoFundMe accepted. He came on an interview and said it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so the government got with a private institution who's going, and now GoFundMe's not even returning the money. They're going to give it to other random charities.
No, that's not true. You can get your money back.
You can?
They don't want to give the money back.
Okay.
Because they get 3%.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So they don't want to give back that 3%, obviously. But if you ask for your money, you
Okay.
can't get it back. If you don't ask for it,
They're going to just distribute.
naturally, that's what
bad,
they do.
though. That's crazy to me.
But here's the thing: that's what they do in these situations. I was looking that up.
Okay.
Like, if you give money to a charity, and then they can't give it to someone. They don't automatically give it back to you because they want that little that little
some
piece.
song.
Yeah.
But
But
it
the
is
fact that the
fucked up that the government
Yeah,
can step in
the fact that
Yeah.
government
and
stepped in
manipulate
there.
a private
But the thing
business.
is, I wouldn't say myself. The last time I checked, it was like 45% agree with the convoy. So it's not overwhelming, but it's still the majority still agrees against it. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. It's we'll see. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
With the whole cancellation of the GoFundMe, with them moving to another city. Like they were really in Ottawa, now they're really in Quebec City.
Now, is it true that they're calling it an occupation now, and that's why the GoFundMe was going to take it? Because a GoFundMe can support
It was smearing.
a protest. It's all smear, right?
It's all smear. It's all
So
smear.
how do you guys feel? Is like Canada's supposed to be this like progressive, loving, like everybody gets along country, and it has a lot of amazing things. Like I think one thing I admire about Canada is it seems to, and again, this is from the outside, it seems like Canada does a good job of getting most people on board with the Canadian sentiment, right? It seems like there is a love of being Canadian, and then that can cross cultural barriers too. Like there is this idea of like, hey, we got to look out for one another, and that's the right thing to do, and we can be proud of that.
It's just that our PR is better than yours. That's it.
Now,
That's it. Let's not act like
you don't think that your political opposition isn't as extreme? Like even your right wing doesn't
Yet.
even touch our left.
Yet.
I could get there.
I do think that there's far more trust in our institutions than you guys have in yours.
Okay, that's fair.
because our institutions don't have the same rep that yours do. Right?
They haven't broken your trust just yet.
No, and if you think about quality of life, I'm pretty sure if you look at the happiness index, we're going to rank higher than you guys.
Okay.
Why? Because a lot of our basic needs are taken care of for the most part. We have good social safety nets.
Yep.
We got health care for
Yep.
people. You know what I mean? We don't have the same issues in terms of like, if you're poor, there's a lot more opportunity for you in Canada than there
Yep.
would be here in the States, right? So I think in terms of the general sentiment towards the government, we're far ahead of you guys in that
Right,
regards.
right.
And so when the government says we're going to do a lockdown, well, they've earned a lot more trust from us
So
than
like
you
it
guys.
must be right. Where we've had the government fuck us over for like, I don't trust these motherfuckers. Who's really behind this?
Exactly.
Does Big Pharma want to lock it down? Like, who's really profiting off of this? So you guys believe, but now you have these instances where you see the government using their power to kind of silence individual citizens. Do you start to lose a little bit of faith for your government?
It's called a brittle a bit, but it's not the same. It's going to take a lot more. And that's why I said yet. We're not there yet. But I mean, if they keep on going like that, it's going to happen. It's just that their PR is better than yours.
Yeah.
America's been known to say fuck you a lot more than fuck that shit. Fuck you. Nah, fuck them. That's you guys.
But that's culturally, that's who we are. Like, and the
Yeah,
people
I
who
understand that.
But the people who come here, they're the fuck you people.
Yeah.
Like everybody who comes to America,
Yeah.
one person in their family looked at the country they were from,
Yeah,
and all their
yeah.
family members were like, I don't need y'all.
I don't know if you can attest to this. I feel like immigrants, even in Canada, or like people from minority backgrounds, already have, before this pandemic, not fuck with the government.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
because they're coming from places where the government's corrupt.
Yeah, and
So there's
also
go-
like the government of Canada doesn't have the greatest reputation with the indigenous people, for example.
What?
No.
Wait, what happened? What happened? Did something happen with Native Americans?
He's an expert on that. He got a machete from them, so he knows all about it.
It's called a tomahawk.
Yeah.
That's real.
But yeah, let's not act like they didn't find the bodies of 6,000 kids.
Whoa.
In residential
It's
homes.
dark. It's dark.
Don't.
It's super
Let's
dark.
not act. Let's
Jimmy
not act
Carr,
like,
insert joke.
Let's not act like we all breezy with the natives.
Right.
Let's not act like natives don't have clean drinking water in their reservation. Let's.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're all good. Nah.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think it's harder for us to gauge that level of trust because
Yeah.
I've always kind of had that to some degree. So I don't know how the more white populace would feel about how things are shifting. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of isolated from that.
You kind of see some fucked up shit sometimes. It's just like,
Yeah.
you hang around the natives and you're like, okay, yeah, you've been fucked over just like what they did. Okay, cool. Same. Okay.
How do the natives feel about the convoy?
Oh, they're some of them are with them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because some of the people
Yeah.
from the convoy are actually some of them requested, yo, can we do something about the water?
Yeah.
Can we do something about the water? It's been time. And Trudeau said that he would do something about the water 6 years ago. And he received, I believe, was $1.8 billion to do
In
something.
funding.
Wow. Oof.
What do you think he did with that? Bought paint?
Oh,
Black paint, maybe?
We got to do a GoFundMe for that. That's what we need to do. Redirect the money for the
How do
water.
you feel about that? How do you feel about like the Trudeau blackface
I don't give a
stuff?
fuck.
Y'all don't care
I
about
keep
it?
the same energy. You did some 25
20 years
ago.
ago. It's
Like
20 years
Yeah.
ago. I'm not gonna
I
use
just
that.
don't get on
Technically, it
top
was
of that.
brownface, right? Isn't that allowed?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's different.
No, it is different.
I feel like it is different.
You think it was-
Isn't it?
No,
If
because
I do yellow face, isn't that different?
No, I don't think it's different.
I think it's different because there's no cultural like example
Yeah.
of like with blackface. There's examples of black people not being allowed to succeed in certain institutions, and it's a mockery of black people in film, right? If we've seen that with brownface, then I would go, okay, maybe we can't do that. If there's no history of that, then you should be able to do brownface.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's offensive to put the color on your face. It's offensive to remind us of this time period where black people were mocked in cinema.
I would just ask brown people. I would just ask brown people how y'all feel
Yo,
about
yo,
it.
yo. Nah.
No, we're not.
Cut that shit out, bro.
cut that
Like,
shit out.
that shit is mad Canadian, bro. Why you trying to ask
Trying to
their
get everyone's
opinions about
opinion.
everything, yo? What the fuck, bro? Vala, how do you feel? Psych. No.
Do you know what cool story did come out though?
What?
They were trying to get tow trucks to tow away the Freedom Convoy, and they're like, "Nah, we're not doing that."
Yeah, we're not.
Hell no.
The
We're
police
not.
was like, "Yo,
No, we're not helping you guys. You got to find someone else. Fuck that
yeah,"
shit.
because they work so close to like it's a
That's
tight
the same. That's
community.
the homies right
They're-
there, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing
It's
that.
like you defending Rogan. Like you're not gonna do nothing.
That's my
where
guy.
That's where the truckers get their trainings. So they're like, I'm gonna tow. These motherfuckers are gonna hire me next year.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I ain't fucking up my job.
Hell no.
And my
But
picture's
I thought that
taken
was
on, and
dope.
I'm on the news, and now they know. Weren't you that guy on the news that towed the truck? Shit. I ain't doing that.
I just
shit.
love seeing Canadians angry. That shit is the best.
it's still so
We're not
polite.
gonna fucking stand for it anymore. We're not gonna fucking like you know what you know
that
what
came straight out
Real
of
talk.
Saskatchewan. That
Real
was
talk. When black people do like the white guy voice in comedy, that's how I feel doing Canadians' voice.
Okay.
Like, when I hear Canadians, I think that's what black people hear when they hear white people
Yeah, you
talk.
feel employable.
Yeah, what? Are you saying I'm not employable?
That's manager status right there.
I got upset for a second.